Thank you for joining me. This is Dr. J.W. Morrison, theologist, New South Wales, Australia, as we continue our theme, Why Good Christians Have Evil Binges. That's why good Christians have evil binges. Why do good Christians, why do good people that are determined to do good, they do all the right things, they pray, they read their Bible, they go to the meetings, fellowship meetings, they do all the right things. And the next minute, that same person is up to their neck in evil behavior. We turn to the scriptures now, and we're up to Romans chapter 7 and verse 8 is what I meant. And reading, because I'm trying not to show any bias, let's just read from a faithful version. Never even heard of it, but from a faithful version. But sin, having grasped an opportunity by the commandment, worked out within me every kind of lust, because apart from law, sin was dead, or lust was latent, the Aramaic Bible in plain English. In this commandment, that's the Mosaic law, or anything we think we need to do or not do to make God happy or stop him from being sad, sin found for itself an occasion and developed in me every lust. For without the written law, sin was dead. So when we think that we're doing things or not doing things to make God happy or stop him from being sad, no matter how well intended it is, we give our evil, sinful nature an opportunity to grasp power, influence, deception, whatever else it does, lust over us. We give it power to have an opportunity to deceive us into lust and all other kinds of deception. Don't underestimate how beautifully, as it were, but from an evil standpoint, how well our sinful nature can take over our thinking and make evil attractive to the point that we don't even realize that we're falling towards it, that we're bending towards it. But sin, seizing opportunity afforded by the commandment. Let's read another one. Let's go Webster's Bible translation. But sin, taking occasion by the commandment. What about this? Weymouth, New Testament. Sin took advantage of this, and by means of the commandment stirred up within me every kind of coveting or lust. Coveting is an example of all the different kinds of sin. So I hope you're starting to realize that this isn't just a small matter. It's a major matter that I believe affects 99.9% of Christianity. People don't realize that sin uses the Mosaic law to forge religious evil. And nobody is exempt from this power. We'll turn to verse 9 now, and we'll read. Paul writing, once I was alive apart from the law. In other words, he had full moral ability. There was nothing inside him trying to deceive him. He was aware of what was going on in his moral compass. He was alive apart from the law. But when he put himself under the law, when the commandment came, sin sprang to life, and his moral compass, or his ability to be able to discern good from evil, died. From a deception standpoint, sin was able to deceive him into thinking what was evil was good, and he died. Remember, Paul went around in the end killing Christians and thought it was good. Well, love does no harm to anybody, the Bible says, therefore love is the fulfillment of the law. So if you want sin to spring to life, or if you're having trouble with sin, if there's decisions that you're making that aren't in your best interest, that are leading you towards harm, that are leading you towards deceiving others, that are causing you to make decisions, possibly that are jeopardizing your marriage, that are jeopardizing your friendships. What is it? Ask yourself. What is it that you think you need to do or not do to make God happy or stop him from being sad? There could be dozens of things that you're doing to allow sin within yourself to spring to life. I remember a young man come to me. He was just a rough kind of Aussie young man, and he had habitual spending, and he could not shake it off. He'd buy things for no reason, and then he'd sell them. And sometimes he'd win, and sometimes he'd lose. But there was no need or actual reason for him to do this, and he couldn't stop. Christian man. I asked him, is the finished work of Christ enough for you to just allow you to get on with your life without pursuing ways in which you think you can do or not do things to make God happy or stop him from being sad? And he argued with me about all the things you need to do to go to heaven. I said, well, until you can relinquish these mindsets that you've created within yourself, under which were founded by the moral laws of the Mosaic rituals and laws and principles, I said, until you can come to that place where what Christ has done is enough and let go of all this other stuff that you think you need to do or not do to make God happy or stop him from being sad, this one part that you've come to the point that you're trying to get help with will go dormant. But what happens is we fall back into what's the word I use for it? I was speaking to a gentleman last night, and the word is you come out of and go back into, what's it called? Excuse me, bit of a mind blank. You repeat, what's that word? Whatever it is, you're in and out of this behavior. So 1 minute you're right, the next minute all of a sudden you're binging again on this kind of behavior. This negative form of behavior that need not be taking place against your will. Sin uses your will, your mind, to seize opportunity to cause destructive thinking, bad habit thinking that just takes you backward in life and not forward in life. Lust has many forms and many ways and many feelings in which it connects with inside us to make it attractive. That's how sin works. Sin makes itself attractive inside us so that we look, some people have even gone to murder under the guise of Christianity, thinking that it was the right thing to do to get what they want. One pastor, this is a very extreme case, but it's not the only one. One pastor decided that he wanted the worship leader in the church. And so, to cut along the story short and not make it too horrible, he murdered his wife and hid the body and ran off with the worship leader in the church and continued along as if nothing had happened. He got caught in the end. And listening to his sermons, there was dozens of things you could see in his theology that was causing him to fall into this behavior, but of which he was teaching to his congregation as well. So you have to be very careful. You have to rest on the finished work of Christ. You have to believe that what Christ has done is enough, and all other effort is finished, and you don't have to worry anymore about making God happy or stopping him from being sad. That frees you up to just get on and live your life without all this religious danger in your mindset. This is Dr. Jason W. Morrison, theologist, New South Wales, Australia. Bye for now.